Check of the voice. All I'm doing is making the green light come on to make sure that you can hear me as I click a bunch of buttons and go to top land. Is Mr. Moneymaker here tonight? Now, date 8:08 p.m. So I'm 8 minutes late. So I usually drop these at 8, but somebody has to get it. Usually you guys aren't going to see it till the next day, and you'll learn that it really doesn't matter with what I'm showing you in so many ways. It's good to get it as fresh as possible. I'll tell you to go down in the comments and ask for the Telegram link and show me that you're seriously interested in, and can and have the money to do the things that I show you. Opening up with Bitcoin tonight, a little late, 9/16/2025. This is the trade call and all that kind of video, the second drop of the week. And because I already called this one at 110, I'll finish it up here. And you're seeing a very interesting chart that I don't have time to explain to you for number one. I can mentorship one-on-one. I mean, you have to spend a lot of time with me to understand all of what you see here. So first thing, understand that. Fibonacci's, it's a tool, it's math. It's used to get targets, it's used to get entries, retracement. There's retracement and there's extension. The 1.6, 2.6, 3.6, and 4.23 are really crypto fibs, and most folks do not know that, even if you know. You may think a lot of folks know that, but they don't. And if you don't know, don't feel like you should, because most folks don't know it. I didn't know it until I started doing crypto a long time ago, about 10 years ago, and my fibs didn't work no more. The 1.6, 1.27 are the important fibs, Fibonacci lessons. You'll get this out of me. So there's always going to be some value in everything I show you, even if there's not a trade active. Make money now. I want to make money now. Well, you take what the market gives you, and the Feds are coming up tomorrow, and everybody expects rate cuts. Everybody, in a way, expects green, but they're really not. They're kind of riding the fence right now. A little bit of funding micro. 8:10. I'm just reverberating the time so I don't go too far over on this one. BTC, the call was at 110. Where it sits right now, which you can't really see on this chart, I say don't mess with and let it run. Profit taking into 117, 123. I think we tapped 117, so you possibly could have followed my call. Took profit at 117. I think there's definitely a potential that they blow it and you see the 140 to 150 area. I'm not going to try to put numbers on it. It's really, really hard, as you can see, with these Fibonacci's. Very interesting. 2.6 and the bounce off the one. And as they go up, they may not make it, maybe like a 137. This is a danger zone, 125 to 150. And yes, at some point, the shorts and the barrel come out, but I would direct you to the US and get your notebook right now. USDT dominance chart. You'll see me show it. And when the shorts are really in town, and I feel like new people have a reason to be seeing this, because Lord knows you don't need to be doing it. BTC opening tonight. And the markets are flat because the Feds are coming up, and you really should never put money in the market going into the Feds. So this week should be flat. Real money just sits aside. You don't try to second guess the Feds. You don't fight the Feds. You wait and you see what they're going to do. If you're already positioned to investments and different things like that, that's different. But if you're trading and you're looking for active trades, active money, or anything like that, you wait. Now, this is a client video first, and I forgot to introduce it as that. Client video first, exclusive YouTube next, and then I'll reverse and send it out later, a couple of months down the road, people will see this video. It really won't matter. And that's what I get you to understand right off the bat. If you show up looking for that now money will get you right. That now money's over there on that Solana and all those meme coins and all those people holding stuff that turned into investments that are going to zero. So Solana's been strong. If you came and you showed up for the alts, I'll tell you right now. And I'm supposed to tell the story. Good God, I forgot to tell the story. Mr. Moneymaker's going to show up and get me. People can show up live in these Zooms. My clients have the Zoom link. These are how I do my live rooms. I do 3 hours a week of very directed, laser focused content for my clients on Telegram. And now I'm attempting to expand out to 2 to 4 videos. If the market will give us alt season, if you're familiar with what alt season is, and some of the best things to do is come down in the comments if you hear things and you got questions. It's not that I'm going to be able to answer them all for you with words. That's what I do the videos for. So you'll have to watch more and more videos, and I got you hooked in. So I tell a story. What I'm going to cover tonight, I'm going to just kind of roll. And we're going to knock out some bigger, what I consider the bigger coins of crypto, which obviously starts with BTC, Ethereum, Litecoin, maybe XRP, but more on the lines of Lincoln Light is what I want to get knocked out in this video. So will we get deep into it? Well, I've already kind of got deep into it with a couple of videos back with Ethereum and the potential correction. Red phone call is what I call it. Red phone call. Why? Because they pick the phone up in one country and say, stop them out in another. And crypto has been unregulated, deregulated, regulated, unregulated. I got regular coffee. Let me take a shift. That's what happens when you catch these videos and you can almost tell that I'm smiling. That dude is conspicuously happy. I'm conspicuously happy because I drink coffee and I don't drink it. Sometimes it'll spin me out. I'll get into a rant if I'm not careful, and I've had that kind of day. So coffee rants, I get suspect with the trading view and all that. So anyway, finish this one off. 110. I may come back to this one on the weekend video, but the call was there at 110 and it's pushing, and I'm looking for it to push all the way. And you can see this chart and the way I have this chart laid out in these Fibonacci's 1.27. Banker's Fib, that is an edge. That you just heard. That didn't sound too good. That is an edge. That's a banker's edge, 1.27. Banker's Fib, Fib extension tool, bull leg. I'm giving you a lot right there that you probably don't understand. A pattern that may possibly play out. So you got a pattern question for you. What pattern is that? You want to engage on the YouTube, get some points with me. Come down and tell me what kind of pattern that is. Give me some thoughts. And that's what I'll say about it. Mr. Moneymaker will show up for the guys that want to disagree with me, and he may support you because he, you know, that's kind of what we do together in so many ways, is make sure that we look at every angle and pull as much information as possible. Crypto market can be very difficult to track. On a macro level, I'm pretty god doggone good at it. I can't say that I thought they were going to do this type of run a few years ago when BTC was sitting at 15. But they are now, and you take advantage of it. And the last place I felt like you could take advantage of it was at 110 with leverage to push this last part of the move. And it is not the easiest because you're potentially looking at a top. A lot of people feel like that's the top. As we were running up here, this was my local top, but we got a lot going on, and they tend to push, and they'll tend to push all the short traders right out and not want to short trade anymore. And by the time you get everybody going long, USDT dominance. Did you hear that? USDT dominance, and it'll come later. And it's a little bit more advanced, but it's a shortcut. BTC is and it's what it is tether dominance, and it's an interesting chart. Dollar takes a lick today going into the Feds. Not surprising, and it wouldn't be surprising if they whip it. And if the Feds come out a little bit more hawkish here, so that's what you're looking at. On the macro side tomorrow with the Feds at 2 o'clock. It could be a dud, could be priced in. That's a pretty strong move on the dollar. So you would expect metals to have benefited from that. Gold, silver, still strong. Come back to those on the macro videos on Saturday night. If you're looking for silver or gold, or you like what you've seen, we'll get some more videos over there. We're going to create some channels. I told Mr. Moneymaker to think of it as school on YouTube. And as he gets the format down, he wants to add some more videos other than the two that we give of the live. So I've got 2-3 years more than that. I've got 10 years of videos, but we're going to stick with the fresher, newer stuff. Crypto's changed a lot, and you've got to change with it. And you'll see me do it if you watch me for the next 4 or 5 years. And I plan on doing this for another decade at least. And then I'm going to switch to a. I'm not going to tell you what, because a lot of people, I'm not going to tell you what I'll be switching to, but I got 10 more years at this, and it's because of a lot of different things that we're not going to talk about tonight. But I'm going to give this 10 more years with folks and try to help them with crypto, and then I'm not too sure what we have left, and I'm not sure about what I'll be doing with it. But anyway, the dollar. The move up that bounce up is that square that I mentioned in a video before. So there's a square right there, right? Take your notebook out, the square. He said the square again. I've been waiting for him to talk about the square. Well, that is a move the dollar did with the square right there, that lip right there. And I called it, and it got pretty bearish, but you can see the moving average held it, shot it up to the square, and then boom, straight down, one of the fastest moves in the DXY in a while. And the DXY tends to go straight down like the BCD chart. So I just gave you something else. He said BTCD, I did. And it's called BTC dominance chart. And if you're going to do alts and BTC and all that stuff, you're going to need to know that chart too, in a way, but it tends to go straight down too. So that's why I was thinking about it, because the DXY goes straight down too. Are we going to go low, 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 low? That's more for macro. Y'all are looking for a trade call. You're not going to get anything, because what's the Fed call? Well, there's usually a pow bump, but there's like a lot of stuff going on right now. Ethereum, I'll just reverse you back to one of the last videos I made and go back and watch that one again and participate if you're interested in my thoughts on Ethereum. It will click on it. It popped up a little bit more. I just don't think this is a good place, and this thing deserves a good licking to the downside to give some entry. So that's what I'll say about that one. It needs some blood to the downside to really make it interesting. The euro, did it pop a top? Yes, it did. But you can see there's an issue with a little bit of forex I'll throw in for you. There's the issue with the euro and the dollar and where it sits, and it's the reverse, exact. Excuse me, exact reverse of the dollar. So it's got some what resistance, but I'm on a what monthly chart. So remember that if you catch that, you've got to do your work, and I'm not going to do it for you in a video because it'll take way too long. There could be videos for that on down the road, but that's what I'll give you with the euro as I'm rolling down, rolling down, rolling down. Now, and I didn't really tell the story. So the story on these videos sometimes is just I'm going to go BTC, Ethereum, Litecoin. I did the medium term coin, the trade setups. So I don't think I did a very good job of telling the story and then telling you what I've showed you. I've showed you a lot of stuff to think about. I've given you some words here. USDT. What is that? That is a stable coin, and it's tether. And in order to do crypto, you got to understand that. BTCD, you don't have to understand that one, but it would be good to understand what that chart means. Total 1, total 2, total 3. Better get your notebook. Where can I learn about all this? You can learn from it, but from me, Telegram. I'm interested. Go down to the bottom. What you interested for? Be clear with us. What are you interested in the long term? Are you interested in crypto? Or are you interested in learning about stuff? And I'm not going to give too much more of that because it sounds like a commercial. So that's what I'll tell you, because you can't do it if you don't understand. That's really what I'm trying to tell you. So Litecoin and Link is what I mentioned. Why? Litecoin is like the third coin in the bunch. So what do I mean by that? Because you may think XRP is the third coin in the bunch, or you may think OTT is the third coin in the bunch, or you may think there's a bunch of them I could throw at you right now. And in the past there would have been 10 other. So what am I showing you here? Well, there's a head and shoulder pattern, so you should see that. Okay, so I'll just clear the chart, and that's the way we'll do with light right now, and we'll do some lessons here. Do I see a trade here where you possibly could go on the head and shoulder short? Has it retraced enough? Maybe, but you gotta be careful because we're possibly going into rate cuts and risk on. So this could, drawn, this could come in here and get bullish. It really could. You got to watch for that if you're short trader. I'm not suggesting you short here. I do suggest that you've already got really two good places to buy your light for a longer term investment. Hey, we're going to 300 and 400, which is a possibility because there's an ETF, right? But you, no matter where you think it's going, you want to get the best entries possible, which is very hard for people. And that's why I do what I do and I teach you what I do. So I want some light. I'm not here to tell you you're gonna get it by what I show you right here, but you got to have a way to get it at a reasonable price. Well, where's the last leg of money? About right there. And it gets wiki a little bit. What I like to call, it's just volatility is what it is. We're gonna take the whole damn leg because they went up, they retraced, right? So you could have got in right here. This dip, that would have been a good dip. This would have been a good dip. This was a retrace of that whole leg right there. See, they go up, boom, boom. That's the leg. They retrace, boom. You know that by these fibs that I'm putting on this chart right now. So now I'm taking the whole leg again. I'm going, hey, where'd it going? Well, before we were not as bullish. The price action out there was not as bullish as you go backwards on Litecoin, and you can see what's been happening. All the way to where, and I've discussed this in the last video with Litecoin thing. I was never bullish on this. I even showed some shorts here. Even not here though. This is a break. You got to go long here and get stopped out. I'll tell you that. Good trade call example. You got to go long there. If you're going to do anything on Litecoin, you go long on the breakout. As soon as it pulls back, you go long and then you get stopped out. And then you're hunting it again. Or you buy the dip here looking for them to do that. Not a lot of good stuff going on here. So you know, I see another place on Litecoin where they break out and they pull back, and you would think maybe they're gonna go, and then they what are they doing? They're ripping the leverage, you guys. They're ripping the leverage over and over. People trying to trade this leverage. Then they come out of here, and this is good because this is right before Trump. All in this area right here, 70 and 80, I think, was before Trump. I knew you were gonna do that, Hoss. Guess who just showed up? The pit just showed up and opened the door. He must have heard me in there. He's got a good time in there because we're almost through it. Hey, Mr. Buddy, we're talking about Litecoin. You gonna have me some Litecoin in the backyard? My silver. But it's also good, real quick, to look at the crosses as well and understand the crosses here. Most people don't, and most people will not watch any content I do on the light Ethereum or light BTC, which can be very important too. But so now. So you see there, and that's a trade, and that's before Trump. And it looked like things were groovy to the pops, and the ETF was going to pop this thing and really go up and do some real good levels. And it didn't. It gave it all back and ripped all this money. So very hard trading when you deal with crypto. Although a nice little move right there, if if you just got in and sold it, 100% is 100%. But most people want in crypto. Luckily, you're back if you didn't use stop losses and you're a hodler, and I don't approve of any of that. And now you're in an environment where a green light is given in all areas, all aspects of everything out there. Rate cuts, the president's pro crypto, and all that. And so you're in an environment now, and you always have to remember this market conditions. You're in an environment where when you get retraces, they shouldn't be as dramatic. They should be more bullish, and you start to use more bullish fibs, which in crypto happens to be a 618. But this is where people go, well, you didn't tell me nothing. This thing can take off from there. And if it takes off from there, I've made sure everybody that's with me has had every opportunity, and I put out alerts for the buys. So our buys on this one are in our 70s and our 90s. And for me, this is more riskier. You see where you would use your stop losses if you're trained and you understand, and you possibly could come in here and go for that if you don't have any like on. If you already have a position, I'll tell you that's a horrible buy. I gave you 70 and 80, and I gave you this. You don't want to buy here, you want a bigger correction. And if it takes off, that's your position. I wouldn't too much worry about it. Could it take off from there? It tried. You can see it did on that last move up right there. It retraced just a little bit, but took off, and then it's right back. And there's a reversal pattern there. So a short trader may come in here and say, well, I'm gonna short that. And I'm like, well, that don't make a lot of sense because market conditions and for the most part, the signals out there for risk on, and crypto hasn't done its thing yet. So how far are you going to get? So that's what I'll do. Is I'll leave you right there with like you. Some folks want numbers. I would say that they have a potential of using that whole leg the best, and that you're going to see a dip, anything up under 100. And I'm a financial comedian, and I'm not here for financial advice. And anything I tell you will or not be held against me. But if that sucker dips up under 100, I'll get me some more light if I have capital available for that. I'm pretty positioned in the coins I like. I call them the Scott 12. So you might want to write that down if I come through and I'm in one of those spirits to discuss the Scott 12. I will tell you it's very interesting, Mara and Riot and the move if we get to 150, and the fact that those things could still be bearish, the Bitcoin mining stocks. And I told you, and I hinted at Link, and I also told people that, and that's where the story comes in. I'll get a little better at it. The alts that I show you, I showed ENA. I'm going to show Wormhole, but not tonight. There's other ones, LDO. I'll leave them to the end. Most people won't watch those, but some people will. And those can be some of these alts that you see. And I've got so many of them, really too many. And I can get 10 more, 20 more off of Coinbase. Most people don't know they exist, don't care, got their asses whipped from them, and don't really want to look at them. So what you're going to get on these YouTubes is me covering the three big ones, which for me is Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. But folks like XRP. So you'll get a little bit of that. Beyond XRP, I do hit the old school ones. I do understand Neo. I do understand XLM. I do understand Habar. All of them. I have them all up, but they're not as interesting to me. But we could come over here and we will at some point for just material and short trading for me. But I would not short XRP right now. But I don't feel like that this thing is going to do what most people feel. But you can't fight a bull. So some people will be going long. It's not my flavor. I would be looking for shorts, but I would be holding off until alt season's over. My take on XRP is that it just drifts and it's going to eventually go right on there. And for all the people that really love this, and with everything that's happened with XRP, I didn't get Link in. So I'm going to tease Link until we're going to be coming up on Link in a few videos. Okay. So look for Link. And I have videos out there on Link. So if you go to my Twitter and follow me on my Twitter, find me on Facebook, or mention in the comments about a Telegram and get over in the Telegram and you're approved and come through me and all that. I have a Link LCX and a Litecoin video that's very good. XRP thoughts, and I'll leave that as kind of a teaser at the end. Now, these are not my gems. These are not my wormholes, my ENAs, many more that I've got that I'll throw at you at TAO. Good God, he just keeps saying letters, man. I can't listen to this dude no more. I see it in the next YouTube video. Show us your love. Take the time to subscribe for it so you'll get the alerts, and we're going to continue to build this for years to come with the folks that show up one by one. And all that other stuff that's out there, better believe that it's a ton of fake stuff. And I ain't getting into that tonight. The crypto industry is built on social engineering, fake scam and con. You better believe that. And I'm not one of them. See you in the next video.